Hello everybody, it's been a while since I made one of these videos and I wanted to make a quick one about something. I was online a few minutes ago and someone I like a lot, posted that they do not meditate, they actually hate meditation. Because first of all, they find it is very boring, and they also said that they enjoy their thoughts a lot, which is I completely agree with that because I also enjoy my thoughts. And for the longest time, I never used to meditate at all. Like, I mean, 0 times. I thought it was something woo-woo, just something spiritual that doesn't really work. But first of all, meditation has been shown that it has very many impacts on the health of a person. Like, this has been studied for years, and is also a practice that has existed for thousands of years. It's not a new practice, and maybe that's why I didn't like it in the first place. But the kind of meditation that I want you to try and that I do myself, it's a kind of meditation that I remember a few months ago going to a high school and guiding the students to do this meditation. It was the first one that they have maybe 100% of the students have ever attempted, because we did not grow up meditating as I have mentioned. But our minds are usually very active. Unless you are sleeping, your mind is doing something. Your mind is always active. Like right now, if I tell you, stop thinking, it is impossible to do that. You cannot just stop your thinking, because you will be thinking about stopping your thinking, and that is also your mind activity. So your mind doesn't stop. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing that your mind does is to start moving, to start thinking. So here I am, you situate yourself, here I am, what am I supposed to do first? I think I'm going to wake up and make breakfast, or wake up and do the dishes, or you just wake up and pick your last night problems from wherever you left them. So our minds really do not stop. And we experience the movement of our minds. We experience them as our internal feelings, as our internal state of being. Let me give you an example. If you are thinking of something that has been really stressing you, or if somebody in the morning or yesterday insulted you, and you got really angry about it, and then you forget about the insult, you move on, you go have food, talk to friends, and then that thought comes back to you again, that that person shouldn't have said that, whatever they said, that is unacceptable. And you start ruminating, you start thinking about those thoughts, about what happened, about how you were hurt. You obviously start feeling bad internally. If you're thinking about happy thoughts, for example, if you remember maybe a compliment somebody paid, somebody told you, you're looking handsome today, I love your outfit, whatever it is. You remember that, and then your internal state of being, you start feeling good because of that, because of what you are thinking. So our minds, when we do not observe our minds, they control how we are feeling without even our awareness. Like, most people have like certain repeating thoughts. I have my book here, Unstoppable. Don't know whether it is facing the right direction, but I have my book here. It's designed for it's written for, I wrote it for students, but it talks about how our minds also have like the negative bias. You want to think of something, your mind wants to think about negative things more than it does positive things. And there is a very good explanation for this, which I have explained very well in the book. And it is because our minds are designed to help us survive, to help us keep safe. Right now, if I give you your best meal, like the best food you have ever seen, like whatever food you love the most, if I bring you a whole plate of that food and you are really hungry, like you are looking forward to this food, you are salivating, you can't wait to dig in, you can't wait to eat it. If I bring that food to you and you are sitting down getting ready, and then a lion pops from the bushes and pounces close to you, it wouldn't matter that you had the best meal in front of you, you will run because survival is much more important. And in that case, but our minds operate like this in many ways. For example, if I have also mentioned this in my previous videos and also in the book, but if you're walking home and then you see a bush and you can't really tell whether that is really a bush or that is a person hiding to attack me, maybe it is a dangerous area, or maybe it isn't even a dangerous area. But for you, when you see something like that, your mind, instead of thinking, no, it's just a bush, ignore it, your mind will obviously tell you that this is something dangerous. Because your mind wants to keep you safe, it will trigger negative thoughts about what is going to happen. What if I get attacked? What if it's actually a lion? What if it's actually an animal that can kill me? What if it's a person that is waiting to mug me or rob me? Whatever, your mind will come up with these thoughts, and they are not to punish you. The mind is not doing this because it hates you. It's just doing this because it wants to keep you safe. Because you are better safe than happy, in fact. Now, when you have your mind operating on autopilot, this means that your mind is just thinking without you knowing. You wake up in the morning, you don't decide which thoughts to think. Remember, you don't have like a menu and you decide today, these are the only thoughts I'm gonna think about. If we did that, we wouldn't be remembering embarrassing moments. We wouldn't be remembering things that we regret. We would shut those out and we would never have those thoughts again. But we can't do that. Thoughts just bring themselves, and what we only do is to pay attention to the thoughts, even without knowing that we are paying attention, because you cannot have a thought that you are not paying attention to. You have to pay attention to a thought for you to have that thought. The thought will arise, and then you will pay attention to that thought, and that thought will bring another thought and another thought, like that. All of a sudden you have wasted hours thinking without knowing that you are thinking, or even what you are thinking about. Now, meditation is really just the practice of you paying attention. Sometimes paying attention to the thinking, not the thoughts themselves. Because if you pay attention to those thoughts, you continue to have them, but to the fact that you are having thoughts, and the fact that you are having these kinds of thoughts, whether they are happy thoughts or not happy thoughts. And the reason for doing this is simply because it only matters how we are feeling internally. It doesn't matter what is happening externally. It really just matters what you are feeling internally. And I'm going to give you a very good example to explain this. Let's say you are sleeping and you're having one of the most amazing dreams you have ever had. Remember, it's a dream. It's not something that is happening around you. You could be sleeping in a matatu. You could be sleeping in bed. You could be sleeping wherever you are. But it is just a dream. It is something that is happening inside yourself. It's not about external factors. But if you're having this amazing dream, you wake up and you feel amazing. This is great. That was a very good dream. Because you could be having a nightmare on the other hand. And again, if you are dreaming something is chasing you down, a lion, a dog, whatever it is, you have watched these Tom and Jerry cartoons and you see Jerry dreaming and running on bed, dreaming that he is being chased by Tom. Now, if you're having a dream like that, a nightmare, it really doesn't matter that the thing that is scaring you is not really happening externally and cannot hurt you. If a lion is chasing you down in your dream, you do not stop and say, no, stop it. This is just a dream. You experience that thing as very real. Although it is really just imagination, you experience it as very real. And it becomes a nightmare for that reason. If you didn't experience it as real, you wouldn't be having a nightmare. It wouldn't even be a dream. You wouldn't even dream in the first place. But again, it is not about what is happening outside yourself, but really what is happening internally and how your mind processes that. Meditating is simply about paying attention to that, paying attention to the stream of thought, paying attention to how you feel internally, like just pausing. So the meditation I guided a group of high school students a few months ago. It was just reminding them to pause. Yeah, you will continue thinking later. Thinking is enjoyable. I enjoy it a lot. But before you do that, just pause. Pause and feel your internal state of mind and your internal state of being, how you feel inside. And even as you do that, because it is not something that is as exciting as the thinking is, you will have thoughts. Thoughts will still come up and they will distract you from that process, from whatever you are doing, from that activity or non-activity. You're just feeling how you feel inside. You breathe like that. You stay quiet. And you can do this wherever you are. Even if you do this like 3 times a day, you will notice a remarkable change in how you feel. Like you will notice this change, not because something has been added to you, but just because you have slowed things down. That your mind is not just running like that, giving you nightmares, because we have nightmares even when we are awake. I could be sitting here and I start thinking about all the embarrassing things I have done, or about all the mistakes I have done in the past, or how I regret this and I regret this, I regret saying this, I regret doing this. I can be sitting here and really be very stressed about I sitting here. People kill themselves, like literally people kill themselves. I have also mentioned this in the book. So remember to pre-order, remember to order it. It's available for pre-orders. So now you could be sitting here and then you're having those kinds of nightmares, those kinds of thoughts, and they translate to nightmares really. Or I could be sitting here and having a lot of fun. My state of being, how I feel inside will determine how I experience my life. So a person that goes and kills themselves, they are not killing themselves because of the external factors, the things that are going on around them. Because other people are going through worse things than the person killing themselves. I have considered it myself and even attempted it multiple times. But it's not because my life was worse then than it is now, or my life is better now than it was then, but it is because of how I was digesting my thoughts, how I was experiencing my thoughts, how I was translating them, and and the picture they painted for me, and how much I believed that picture. So pay attention to how you are feeling. Pay attention to the kinds of thoughts that you have. You will feel a kind of peace of mind that you have never experienced before. Try it. Try doing it once. Try just pausing, even now, and feeling how you feel. And tell me how you think, what you think. Also tell me how you feel. Catch you on the next one.